Hey Selectors, I'm Jack, and this is the Assist Line. The Florida Grand Prix just wrapped up, and I was down south in Gatorland, literally, to see what happened. So fly on down with me, and I'll tell you about this awesome tournament. The 2024 Wixoss Grand Prix happened on March 9th at the Kissimmee Event Center, right next to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament and a toy and collector convention. I sat next to an old man on a cell phone in the lobby between rounds, and he was talking bewildered to a buddy about how all these kids came down just to play cards. And by all these kids, he meant over 80 selectors that made the journey to come and compete, which included a lot of big-name players and some of the most dedicated Elrig selectors, like this Pure Loot cosplayer. Originally, the tournament had a number of promos to hand out to the winners, as well as product and prizes for a side event, but unfortunately, the judges broke the news that all this was currently stuck in customs and didn't arrive on time. Kind of a downer, but everyone was promised that they would receive their prizes and promos in the mail by scanning a QR code in the venue and filling out a Google form. Now I know what you're all here for, so let me tell you about how the actual tournament went. The field was incredibly varied considering how afraid people were of some of the bigger decks. All in all, over 20 different Elrigs were represented among the players. You did see a healthy amount of Dash-Anj in various forms, with some other more popular decks being Alpha Virtual's Mill, generic Esper Good Stuff with either Tama or Remember, and Sachet with Umer Clear. The tournament was 7 rounds, followed by a top 8 cut, where 7 different Elrigs were represented. At the end of the day, you had Modica, Sachet, Hirana, Remember, Umer, Mirrorune, and 2 Anj decks. And finally, at the end of it all, first place went to Modica, second place went to Sachet, and third place went to the Mirrorune player from my very own locals. Overall, even though the side events were cancelled due to customs bullshit, it was still a super fun time. I went down south, saw some gators, played some games with some awesome selectors, and most importantly, I had a lot of fun with my friends. Now for anyone interested, I participated as well with my own spin on the Dash-Anj deck, tuned a little more for the Mirror and for the Sachet and Exia matchups. I was pretty excited going into the GP, even though my deck was relatively untested and a little overtuned to what I expected to play. Spoiler alert, I didn't play against any Exia or Remember decks all day. In round 1, I played against an Aya deck. I went first, but unfortunately on my first attack, he hit a random drain and a goo burst after double mono-meaning me turn 1, and I proceeded to low roll until the end. I had him in kill range by the end, and he forgot his assist cost 2 instead of 1, so I thought I had it. But he bursted into a stop and a Futase that I hadn't even seen in the deck, and I found out he top-decked 2 guards on a fresh deck. So sadly, I didn't get that one. Starting with a loss kinda sucked, but I tried to run it back from the loser's bracket. Round 2, I played against Nanashi. In quite the opposite experience, he didn't burst a single stop and only guarded once, so I took the game without too much trouble. It was short, so I took the time between rounds to relax. Round 3, I actually played against a Pure Loot deck. I don't know what center he was playing because he never hit level 3. I went first, he Umer scared, milled 2 guards, and I clapped back for 4 damage, and after he spent too much energy to use his assists, I closed the game pretty early since he didn't have any servants or defense. I'll tell you what, you really don't get too much round fatigue playing Dash decks. Round 4, I played what I thought was Dash Hira, but mid-game he put a Remember Memoria into Enter, and by the end of it, I really wasn't sure what the deck was about even though I refreshed and looked through it. I don't know what pieces he was playing either, as again, I killed him before he hit 3. He had a decent record, so I figured it must have done something pretty cool, but I didn't get to see it. Round 5, I played against Layla, and with a Layla main of my locals, I know how scary she can be. Unfortunately, Layla ate 5 damage on turn 2 and had to use her full Mel stop the following turn, and had no Enter to grow on turn 3. Without guards or level 3 Signy, the game didn't last too long. Layla took some bad beats in that game, but I guess a win is a win. So I was 4-1 and actually pretty stoked that I could go at least 5-2 without too much trouble. But then in round 6, I played against the Mirror, Dash-Anj on the full Sanbaka package. I was excited because I'd tuned my deck for this matchup in mind, but when I attacked, he bursted 3 Furrin Slashes, so yeah. I did manage to put together a board where I thought I had the game, and he misplayed his Toko assist, so I thought I had him, but then he played a Lise assist I wasn't expecting to see, and I got him to 0 but couldn't close it. Felt bad, but them's the beats. Round 7, I got a chance for the salty run back because I played against another Dash-Anj deck. I went first, executed my game plan, but bursted an empty servant along with nothing else the whole game, had no guards, and top-checked into a bunch of things I couldn't even take after drawing a pretty bad opener. Again, I cut the game pretty close, but from a really bad position, I couldn't close it before he got me. So I ended the day with a 4-3 record, which, as Comrade Yalov says, not great, not terrible. I wish I had more time to test and practice with my deck, as I probably would have made a few more changes. But I think the number one lesson I took away was that I should have played the deck I originally wanted to take, which was way closer to my favorite playstyle. Selectors, look at the results here. It's better to take what you know and the Elrig you like, rather than to try to out-meta the meta. The Mirrorune player that got 3rd place is from my locals, and he knows the deck inside and out, proving that playing what you know gets you there. Another buddy from my locals got 6th with his trusty Remember deck, which he'd been playing in one form or another since it dropped. The lesson here is that you should always play what speaks to you the most, no matter what anyone says. Florida was a great time, Selectors. I want to thank all of you that showed up and played, and especially thank the judges and tournament organizers that made this Grand Prix possible. The 2 GPs I've been to have been a total blast, and I can't wait for the 3rd one. When we find out where and when that is, I hope to see all you Selectors watching there. And to all of you Selectors, welcome home after the tournament, and thanks for using the assist line. Thank you for calling the assist line. The Wixoss media you requested is complete. However, please stay on the line for more content. To subscribe and receive more Wixoss content, please press the subscribe button on your screen now. The assist line values your feedback and encourages you to leave your comments in the indicated section. To repeat this media, press the replay button on your device.